Okay, I'm lying. Okay. Welcome to the According to Sources podcast. Host Andrea Williams. Today we are joined by Chris. Chris, say hello to the people.
What's going on, people?
Rob, say hello to the people.
Yo, what up? What up?
Let's get right into it. Jimmy's gone. I know y'all are sorry. Rob, I know you happy.
Jimmy's gone.
I know you
Cornball's
happy,
out of
Rob.
town.
Jimmy's gone.
Rob, I know you've been waiting on this day.
Jimmy's gone.
You've been waiting on
I feel,
this day for
I
a
feel,
real long time
I,
now.
feel- I feel like that joint on Dave Chappelle when he was what when he's Rick James. Jimmy's gone.
Rob, if anybody who's been listening to the podcast
Jimmy's
for any
gone.
period of time, you will know that Rob has not been the biggest fan of Jimmy Butler. And yeah, so this is like a holiday for Rob.
Man,
Yeah.
the pure thought of this happening. They have been talking about this obviously for weeks, and I was on the way to get something to eat when this whole thing was kind of starting to go down, and I felt myself smile. I wasn't trying to, but I felt my face light up, and I said, "All right, so this feels right. Something about this feels right that I have Jimmy Butler off my basketball team."
So look, okay, before we get into the actual trade, are you guys surprised that they did a deal with Tom Thibodeau?
Well, I mean, according to Nick Friedel, they apparently, over the last, few months or however long it had been, they have been, Paxson and Tibbs have been kind of burying the whole thing,
Because it wasn't really Paxson and Tom that had
Right,
the issues. It was
right,
the other guy. It was Gar Foreman,
right.
that had the issues with Tom and getting rid of his his assistant coach, getting rid of him and doing all of these other things that that bothered him. So yeah, maybe, and I had been hearing that Paxson decided he was going to start taking more of a focal point, a focus point on the team instead of just allowing it to be Gar, doing Gar things. He's been trying to do a little bit more for the team and day to day operation stuff. So yeah, man, I can see it. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you would think grown men at some point were I mean, let's do business. Like, let's not continue to act like fucking kids. Let's, I mean, if we got business to take care of or, potential, business moves to be made, set aside, whatever difference they have or don't have and get it done.
Okay, so let's actually get into the meat of the trade. Jimmy was traded for Zach LaVine, um, Chris Dunn, and the number 7 pick,
Essentially,
and they gave up the 16th pick in this trade, which I did not like that, by the way, because if you're trading a guy of Jimmy's of his talent, even if you don't really like Jimmy, you have to acknowledge that Jimmy Butler is a talent,
Yeah.
one of the best two-way players in the league. If you're trading away a guy of his talent level, you have to at least get future draft picks back, or you don't give up a draft pick in the process. And the Bulls somehow managed to not do either. They didn't give future draft picks, and they gave up a draft pick in the process, which I didn't really like. And you get Levine, who I really thought was really good last year. I mean, not defensively, he wasn't a good defender, but offensively, he's pretty damn good last year before he hurt himself.
hmm
Um, but you get him, but you're getting him coming off of a torn ACL. And Bulls fans, we've done the torn ACL guy.
we've been on that roller coaster already.
He does not come back the same. We've seen this, Shakespearean play itself out in real life, and it generally doesn't work out very well for that guy. Now, hopefully, Zach can recover from it, but I don't know.
The,
So
the one the one
go ahead.
thing I don't really know about this trade though that I have in the back of my mind that I don't really want to think about is Zach Levine is a jumper. Zach Levine is an athlete, right? And how is he gonna bounce back from an ACL when he needs those legs to jump?
So I mean, about that. I know as Bulls fans, it's really, really, really extremely hard for us to see anything outside of a Derrick Rose situation when it comes to ACLs. But is that always the case when it comes? That's not always the case with ACLs though. You get guys that get ACLs and they come back and they're fine.
Yeah, but it's generally not the guys that are uber athletic. You know, it's like guys who you're a little bit athletic, but you know they're really skilled players, not guys who rely primarily on their ability to run past you or jump over you. Those guys generally don't come back the same. But you know, he was learning skills that, or even had a skill. He was a pretty good 3-point shooter before he got hurt. Was he shooting like close to 40% from three before he got
Something like
injured?
that.
He was shooting
Yeah, he
something
was
like
doing
close
pretty
to
I want to
good.
say 37.
yeah, he was it's like 37, 38% from 3-point line before he got hurt. So, you know, you got things like that he was learning how to play, you know, without just being the guy who's faster than you or can jump over you. So, you know, you have things like that. Like I hope he can come back and be good. And you know, you get Dunn, who the Bulls really wanted last year. They wanted to trade Jimmy for Dunn last year, but they couldn't pull the trigger for some odd reason. And then, you know, Dunn he was awful. He was absolutely awful last year. God, he was abysmal. But he was a rookie. So you're hoping that he's going to get better too. What do you guys think about that draft pick though?
I didn't know. I mean, I didn't watch much Arizona ball at all, so I watched his tape, and I mean, you know, it's like we were saying, it's another white boy shooter.
Man, why can't they get past the white boy shooter?
So I mean, you know, you hope he's a lanky dude, so you know the hope is that they got this right with this kid and that he'll. I mean, just watching his tape, I mean, he can shoot. The
He can
dude
shoot the
can
ball, but
shoot.
you know,
Lights up the ball.
The dude
Doug
can
can shoot.
shoot, man.
Doug can shoot.
Oh man.
Doug can shoot the shit out. I said I wasn't gonna curse. Doug can shoot the heck out of the ball, man. Before you know, before he became Doug.
Yeah, it's really hard to argue with that. I mean, you can't. There's really nothing you can say against that. When you go,
I saw
well,
hope,
this
but you
guy,
know what?
this guy was a shooter too, but
You know what? He seems to be, you know, pound for pound, height for height. He seems to be a little bit more athletic for his height than Doug is for his.
I mean, which isn't fucking hard to be.
It's
To
not
be
hard
quite
to
honest.
be. Yeah, it's not hard to be, but he's a 7-footer, and you know he
So I
can
mean
move.
that in itself was already impressing me that he's 7 feet, and
Yeah,
it's not like he's just some catch and shoot guy. Like he can also dribble a little bit and maybe get to a spot. Like I watched him get around a couple of screens
yeah,
and get his shot off, or you know dribble around a guy and get his shot off.
yeah, which opens up a whole bunch of different opportunities
So
offensively.
you know
For
that's something that you never really saw with Doug. Doug is just a catch and shoot guy. He's a pure stand in one spot. I'm gonna get you the ball and you chuck it up. This dude, at least at the very least, at 7 feet at that, can possibly you know get his own shot off or get you know create his own shot. Maybe you know we'll see. You know, it's hard to argue against that whole. Well, this guy was a shooter too, and you know you're banking on hoping that
shit,
he can
I
still
saw
be a
some.
shooter.
I still remember some Nico videos. I'm like, man, Nico can shoot the hell out of the ball. He looked great.
Oh my
And then
god.
then he was Nico. then he was Nico. You know.
Yeah, so
So
it's really hard to argue against that when you go, yeah, this guy is a shooter, and then you know he comes in and he's you know touted as this guy that's supposed to shoot. So then you know he comes in
he
and he
can
gets all
shoot
this
the hell out of
pressure.
the ball.
He has all this
What did he
pressure
shoot?
on him to shoot.
What did he shoot in college? It was like 42% from three or something
I
like that.
forgot. I watched it
42.
earlier. I forgot. I have to look at it again.
42.
Yeah,
He
it's
hit a
42.
lot of 3-pointers.
As long as we keep this
Um,
Lurie dude, this new draft pick away from schools, we should be fine, man.
Away from who?
As long as we keep this new draft pick, this Lurie dude from Finland, keep him away from schools, we should be fine.
Keep from schools.
Yeah, keep him away from schools. White boy,
What
he's
about
a
that?
shooter.
That's over my head.
He's a white boy, he's a shooter.
Spell it out for me. You
Yeah.
missing me. ABC.
He's a white boy.
He's definitely a white boy, but I mean, he from what is he from Finland?
Yeah.
He ain't a white boy.
Yeah, something like that. And then he played here for what, a year? He played in Arizona for a year.
Yeah.
I don't know. What? Go ahead, Chris.
I mean, there's not really that much you could judge off the dude because he only played 1 year of like college basketball. But from what I see, I mean, he has a talent. He looks like a Kristaps Porzingis kind of player, you know.
Yeah, but here, okay. Look. These are the things that really worried me about this entire thing. They didn't work him out.
Yeah, I just saw it a minute ago.
They didn't talk to him. They hadn't
They
even
don't have
talked to him.
to. They see the white boy shooter. That's all they need to know. That's all that Paxton needs to know. He knows all he needs to know is a white boy that can shoot. Boom. Where do I side?
Put him
I'm
in the
just
wing.
trying, like, but that doesn't worry. That doesn't worry you guys like a little bit. That
That they didn't bring him in to try him out? Yeah, of course, absolutely. I mean, I don't. It doesn't worry me as like him as his character or anything like that. I don't necessarily think that's gonna matter. But
no, not the character, but like you want to see how a guy operates a little bit, before he gets out there in your uniform. You want.
I guess. I mean, you could also see him in other situations. They could have seen him somewhere else. He may not have come here for a private workout with the team, with just their trainers. But if they saw him at say the combine or wherever else, I'm sure they figured they saw enough.
Okay. He said it was a complete surprise to him because he hadn't even talked to them.
Yeah. So again, I still don't feel like that's that big of a deal, just because, like I said, I mean, if they went to the combine and they watched him and they liked what they saw there,
all right.
I
If
feel
this
like
was any other
okay.
team, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
This is a team that doesn't know how to assess talent when they actually see them up close. So how are we supposed to believe that this guy's the goods if you haven't really paid attention to him? And they haven't talked to him, nor have they worked him out. They worked out Nico, worked out Valentine.
So maybe they
out
should.
Bobby.
So they should not work out a cat. Maybe they need to
Or
stop
maybe they
working out
shouldn't
dudes.
have jobs. maybe they just shouldn't have jobs. Maybe that's it.
It could be that's the wrong route. It's them working out people, and they get these cats around them. They think more of them than they should if they just would have watched them from afar.
So now reading that Levine is going to miss most of the season, recovering from the ACL. So
You said most of what? Most of
next
what?
season he's going to miss.
Are you serious?
Most of the next season, recovering. Wow. Hey, Rob Access, can we always think about Derrick Rose? This is the perfect response right here. We gonna hear about a whole bunch of times that he may be ready to come back. He may not be ready to come back.
Man, oh my God, that's yeah. If he's not like, because look, they got the Bulls roster already set on ESPN. That's hilarious. Wow.
So that's one player now. So we've essentially traded Jimmy for Dunn and the 7th pick. Is that a good trade? We traded Jimmy
when you put it that way.
To move up 9 spots in the draft.
When you put it that way, this kid, Laurie has to he has to pan out now.
He has to.
Kristoff now. Like there's no other way around it. That's what he has to be now.
Bulls fans are losing their minds.
I still found it funny. I mean, I get it. We can assess this trade. Obviously we're going to for years to come. Hopefully Levine comes back and he's dope. Jimmy didn't need to be a Bull, man. He just didn't.
He
He
didn't
just
want. He didn't want to be a Bull.
he didn't want to be. He didn't need to be.
He just
He
said
wanted
all of the right things.
he wanted to go where he wanted to go, and that's where he ended up. He wanted to end up with his old coach, and that's where he's at. That's where he needed to go. He didn't need to be here. There was way too much stuff that's been said, that's been done here, that his time here essentially was up. It was over.
Now, Chris,
Yeah,
you following the thread on Twitter, right?
of course.
Saw your boy Just Blaze said he thought that Jimmy and Wiggins they were redundant. Do you agree with that?
There's a lot of things I see on Twitter, especially NBA Twitter, that people don't realize, and stuff like that. Try to ignore because it's not factual at all. The fact that he said that, I mean, I may not be the biggest Jimmy Butler fan, and I may not think that he's a superstar, but he is a cornerstone of a team, and he is an important piece. Together, and Andrew Wiggins, they're really the same player. And Wiggins, he has that ability to get better on defense. And seeing those two together play, that might make a difference, and that might boost Minnesota up into the playoffs. You never know. But redundant, I don't think so. That's a stretch, man. That's a stretch.
What do you think, Rob?
Wait, what was the question?
In the thread that we're on Twitter, our boy Just Blaze _513. What's going on, Just Blaze? He said that that he didn't really like before the draft, before the pick was even swapped, before they did the trade. He said he didn't know if he liked Jimmy playing in Minnesota with Wiggins because he felt they were redundant.
I guess I could see that, but I mean, Wiggins is probably not probably. I'm sure he is a better shooter than Jimmy. So I don't know. I don't think that's redundant at all.
Okay.
Because Jimmy's going to play what up there. He would play
number 2. He's going to be the 2, and and Wiggins is going to be the 3.
Yeah, I don't think that's redundant.
So you're moving Jimmy back into his natural position.
Yeah, where he was naturally playing anyway.
Yeah, where he feels comfortable, because this year he had to play more 3, and I don't think he really likes playing the 3 all that much. But I feel like it's kind of like, are Klay Thompson and Steph Curry redundant because they both can shoot very well? I don't think that they're redundant in the same sense, because you have 2 guys who are athletic, that can shoot the ball a little bit, good defenders, athletic wings. And I think when you're playing a team like Golden State, you need 2 guys like that, right? You need 2 guys that can defend multiple people. That if you need them to switch onto another player, it's not going to be
you're not losing anything.
It's like, oh crap, we got to switch Jimmy onto this guy, or oh man, now we got to switch Wiggins onto this guy. But it won't be like that, because neither one of those guys are, oh crap, defenders. Like, man, now we're just going to get murdered out here. They're not those kind of defenders. So you have those 2 guys. That's a good thing. It's a good. Sometimes even if they are redundant, sometimes redundancy is good. You need some overlapping. That's why when Steph Curry goes to the bench, you know, even last year you had a guy that could shoot the lights out of the gym. Redundancy is good because there's some overlapping, but it's also when the other guy sits down, this dude is still here. Now maybe you won't have Andrew Wiggins playing 42 minutes a game next season, or however many he played, because he played a lot of minutes per game last year. And you know, that's how guys get hurt. It's about playing a bunch of minutes, because you can't take them out, because you have no backup, or not a backup that's competent enough that you feel okay with taking him out. So now you can sit him down and Jimmy can stay in, or vice versa, where you sit Jimmy down and he's still in the game. Those are the things that I think they're looking at when they make trades, like or pick up people like that. And now that I think about it, maybe he's right. Maybe they are redundant, but I think for the Minnesota Timberwolves, their redundancy is a positive and not a negative.
I still think they're 2 different players, though.
They are.
I don't know how redundant they are, to be honest. You know, they're both guys that'll try to get to the basket. I think.
They're both ISO dudes. That's where.
Yeah, and I think the willingness to shoot for Wiggins will be there a little more than it will for Jimmy. So I don't know how redundant they are. I don't know.
Jimmy gonna shoot though.
Yeah, Jimmy gonna shoot, but he gonna go to the basket a whole lot more than Wiggins is gonna try to get to the basket.
Yeah, Wiggins is a post, like a pinch post, like a mid
Yeah,
range.
mid range kind of guy. He'll shoot some threes. Jimmy going to the bucket like Harden to get fouls.
So, okay, so now they have a three-headed monster now: Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins, and Karl Anthony Towns. Are they making
and peep game? Ain't nobody going to the bench.
Jimmy playing 48 minutes next year.
Everybody's playing the whole game.
Somebody ACL is getting torn again.
So they all can just suck wind now and enjoy the rest now because there'll be no rest in Minnesota.
They called him up. So Jimmy, are we ever going to play less than 40 minutes a game? And Jimmy just laughing. Youngster.
No. I need hard work and dedication. I need people to work. I need people to work as hard as me.
As hard as me. So do they make the playoffs next year?
Yeah, they make the playoffs.
It's possible. Yeah. I don't know if they make the playoffs or not. Maybe they need like that 1 year to gel together like Miami did. But I don't know. I do see them being a top 10 defensive team, though.
I think they make the playoffs. I think they're going to make the playoffs, too. I think they make it.
Because if Jimmy can get the Bulls to the playoffs with, man, I don't even know who the hell was on that team last year. Isaiah Cannon.
Nobody.
Michael Carter Williams.
Nobody.
Don't bring the dude up, nigga.
Rasho Nesterovic. Guys like that. Maybe. I mean, you got Karl Anthony Towns, and I'm pretty sure he was putting like 24 and 12 up towards the end of last year.
Mm-hmm.
But so you put him in there, and you get Jimmy in there because if you look at it at the end of last year, even at the beginning of last year, they were losing a lot of games at the end of the game, like all these close games. Jimmy is probably going to win those games.
Yeah.
Yep. Screwing up.
Just because they were young.
That's what I was going to say. Now they got a little bit of leadership. A guy that's kind of been there and can, will them to a bunch of those games in the end. And then they got the talent.
Are you calling Jimmy a closer, Rob?
Jimmy is a closer. I don't know.
He is.
That is one thing you cannot say.
Listen, my problem ain't necessarily with Jimmy's game. It's really not. Like I think Jimmy's I think he's a good player. I don't think you can win shit with him though. Just to be honest, I don't think you can. I don't think he's a guy that is like.
He can't be your best player.
He can't be your guy. That's my point. That's what I was going to say. He can't be
another guy.
He isn't now.
I think he's in the perfect situation now because Karl Anthony Towns is the best player on that team.
Easily,
he can be an excellent complementary player to him. So, but Jimmy here was not going to win because Jimmy can't be the guy that's like killing himself playing 48 minutes and he's not LeBron. He's not Westbrook where he can play that many minutes.
If he would have been able to play with Derek when Derek was Derek, then it would have been perfect. It would have been perfect.
Then we got something to talk about. But Jimmy can't be your guy. So I think he's a closer. I think he in the end of certain games, he can get you the buckets you're looking for, even if it's one of those weak ass threes where he's kicking his foot out.
Trying to get that call.
Trying to get that call instead of just going up and shooting a regular 3-pointer. A lot of times those joints was falling. The ones that didn't, he had a good look at them. He just shot it all awkwardly. Or he can get to the basket and get you a deuce if you need a deuce to tie the game or win the game.
Is definitely a closer. There was like one point where he had not missed like a go ahead or a tie-in 3-pointer in his entire career. All he did was score those baskets. So Jimmy is a closer.
My biggest problem with Jimmy was just him. The bitch assness. I couldn't stand the bitch assness that came with Jimmy.
And it was too much. It was too much talking for me personally. Just too much talking from Jimmy. I don't want to hear all that damn talking. I just want you to play, man. Like all of this, like the whole thing with him, declaring himself the leader of the team.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about, son? Like, why do you gotta say this? Why do you have to announce this shit to the world?
Because he was trying to stick it to the guys that were the leaders of the team. I mean,
what's the point though? Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's some bitch ass shit. Is what that is. That's
you being a good basketball player is gonna dictate everything that comes with leadership and anything else that you want to be on a basketball team. You don't have to continuously say, "Well, I'm the leader of this team."
Calling out the coach and all that shit irked my nerves, man. When he did that shit irked me.
The one thing I am excited for in this rebuild for the Bulls is that this is the perfect squad for Fred Hoiberg and the offense that he wants to run. Yeah, he has guys that can shoot. He has guys that can run. And, I want to see how this is all going to work out in the long run for the offense that he wants to run. You don't have ISO Jimmy anymore. You don't have ISO. I mean, well, potentially you won't have ISO Wade. And Rondo is probably gone too. So I want to see how his offense is actually going to work because he's going to have guys on the team now.
Are they buying out Rondo?
Man, shit, I don't see any reason why you don't. If you go out there and you get a Chris Dunn, second year guy, fifth, you pick in the draft pick.
He needs to get run. Yeah, he needs to get run.
You got to play him, and it can't be
because at this point they got. Because at this point they got what for about 40 point guards now.
Yeah, give or take about 40,
about 40, 41, something like that. I mean, like so.
Yeah, we got Cameron Payne, trash. I'm sorry, guys. Cameron Payne is trash.
Denzel Valentine.
Denzel.
Is he a point guard?
Nah, he's a point forward, type guy.
So I don't even count him.
No, I don't count him. But let's just count the. No, he's gone. You're not keeping count. You got who did I just say? I can't even remember these guys' names, man.
Denzel Valentine.
Michael Carter.
The actual point guards. The actual young point guards.
Michael Carter.
Michael Carter Williams, who might not even be anymore. What's the other young one? Jarian Grant.
3.
And then you got
Isaiah Cannon.
He ain't gonna be here. And then you got Dunn. So Dunn is your starting point guard. Point blank. You get rid of Rondo. You play Laurie at your center. I mean, your power forward. Maybe you try to get rid of Lopez, see if you can get somebody to take Lopez, and you've blown it all up already. Just blow it up completely. Start over, get some young guys. You're gonna have another high draft pick next year, and you just start over. The Bulls have finally started over. The problem is it's probably like 3 or 4 years too late.
That's the best part about this whole.
Wait, what do you mean that it's 3 or 4 years too late?
Well, it's definitely 2 years too late. It's the second after the second Derrick Rose injury, the second MCL or whatever it was, they probably should have just started blowing it up there. They should have blew it up after they lost to Cleveland when they were up 2-1 and LeBron hit that shot. So how many years ago was that? 2? Is that 2 years ago?
Yes, 2 years ago.
Okay, so it was the blow up was 2 years too late because the next year after that you had the whole fiasco with Thibs in the front office and him being gone. Then the next year you have Fred Hoiberg, and then you got another year of Fred Hoiberg. It's 3 years into this where you're just basically in basketball purgatory. If you'd have just blown it up back then, it'd have been a completely different thing. You don't have Jimmy anymore. You get rid of Jimmy. You don't sign Dwayne Wade and Rondo. You just do the whole thing over. Just blow it all up. They started a little bit too late, but at least they got. I mean, Dunn might be good.
I'm watching highlights right now. I mean, I don't know, man. I got probably maybe I guess a little more faith than you do in that Dunn is still going to be. He's still learning and still has a chance to be something. I like my chances with him better than any other Bulls point guard, to be honest.
Man, but that ain't saying much, Rob.
I know.
Don't say that. I'm saying you have faith in him. Don't add them other bombs.
I'm just saying I have to because if I'm going off what we have available,
Don't add them
I
bombs.
like my chances with him.
I agree. I like my chances with him. I'm just not going to add them other bums into the equation. I'm just not doing it. They bums.
Some good defense too.
Bums.
They like, come on, man.
Oh my
Cameron
god.
Cameron Payne's claim to fame is that he danced around with Russell Westbrook. Like that was his claim to fame. I danced around with Russ. Like that's what he does. He dances around with Russ. I don't give a shit about that. Like I want him to be a good basketball player, and he's not. And and I'll see people on Facebook and Twitter and they talk about Cameron Payne. Like, well, he might be a good basketball player, and I'm like, well, I might be a good basketball player too, but the odds of that happening are slim to none. He hasn't shown anything that he's going to be a good basketball player. So that's just how I feel about that.
I got faith that the Bulls got them a good basketball player and Dunn, man. Just looking
They
at these
wanted him last
highlights.
year.
Yeah,
I like Dunn. I think Dunn's
yeah.
going to be good. I'm just
Worried
I don't
about
know.
Levine's knee.
I'm worried about Levine. I'm worried about Laurie. I
Panning
know
out.
he can shoot, but I also know that he's just another. He's another shooter, another shooter, another damn shooter. And it's like, okay, we need shooting, but the Bulls have this thing. It seems like with getting athletic guys that can also shoot. Like they go out. I feel like that they're trying to build their team for the 1990s. They go out and get these guys that specialize in one thing. And the NBA isn't like that anymore. Guys have to be capable of doing multiple things on the basketball court. You have to be able to shoot, drive to the basket, play defense, rebound. Like you have to have a multifaceted game, but they go out there and get Doug McDermott. They go out there and get Laurie. These are guys that are specialized in one part of the game. Now, Laurie, from everything I've heard, is a really hard worker, you know, student of the game,
They
blah,
said
blah,
the
blah. I
same
heard
thing about
exactly.
Mirotic.
McDermott was a hard
And
worker.
McDermott. Yeah,
You gotta watch his tape. He's such a great
that's
shooter.
code for white guy. He's a hard worker. He's code for white guy. Like if I said he's a hard worker, he's a student of the game, you're like, oh, he's a white guy. Like
Yeah,
that's just
so I do.
like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's a white. Okay, he's a white guy.
Yeah,
He's unathletic.
he has to be. Like he has to be.
Like the only thing you're missing is his father was a coach. Like you throw that out there, you automatically know he's a white guy.
Look. Either his father was his coach or he played in the NBA in the 70s.
Or he played. His father.
He
He's a second
played.
generation
He
NBA
played. He played professionally either in the NBA or
Or
somewhere over in
overseas.
Europe.
Overseas. His father played in the top Italian league or something like that.
Yeah.
They're like, oh,
He's like
He
he's
won
like,
6
guy.
rings at Series A.
He's a world champion in over in Europe, like 3 or 4 time champion.
Okay, white guy. You throw white. Okay, I mean, I understand you didn't want to just say he was a white guy, so you wanted me to jump through these hoops with you. But okay, he's a white guy. Fine, cool. But those are the things that I'm worried about. It's just like, okay, he may be a really good basketball player, but from what I've seen on that tape, I don't want him to be athletic for a 7-foot guy. You know what I'm saying? I want him to just be athletic. And it seems like the Bulls, like you look at their last few draft picks, man, you go, I mean, you got Bobby Portis, Denzel Valentine, Doug
Portis is
McDermott.
actually shaping out though.
No, I mean, but if Portis jumped up right now, you could not slide a piece of paper underneath that vertical because he's unathletic. And I don't have no problem with Bobby, but like those are the things like the NBA has gone towards guys that can run really, really fast and jump really, really high. And also do other things. You actually they can dribble very well. Okay, I don't know who the Bulls have on their team that's gonna get all these open shots. I mean, I'm assuming it's gonna be done. I'm not really dependent on Dwayne Wade, even if he's here. The Bulls are gonna be a really, really bad team. I saw somebody say, "No, the Bulls are gonna be actually pretty good next year," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I don't know about that. Not if you're going to have Chris Dunn as your starting point guard.
And Chris Dunn is going to be your starting point guard, right?
How good? I mean, is he like some veteran that's going to come in and lead the team?
I don't know what is going to happen, but I don't know.
How good can you be with You
A
know,
rookie.
a guy essentially. You know, I mean, I guess he's not necessarily a rookie, but he's a guy. If you play on the Tibbs, he wasn't getting a whole lot of run, and the only reason he got the run that he did get is because Rubio was hurt for a while.
Yeah, Rubio was hurt, and when Rubio was
So
hurt, he was. I mean, he did not play well. So
he had some good moments, man. He had some moments where he had double doubles and whatnot. He had some nights where he was on and off. He was on and off.
I guess he was a rookie.
He was on and off. Because he had some nights where he had some really good games. I just watched some highlight tape against the Nuggets where he had almost had a double double.
Who was he playing up against? Who was was that Moutier?
Well, the highlight I saw him block. What's the old man's? What's the point guard?
Jameer Nelson.
Nelson. And he put his shit on the glass. He put his shit on the glass.
I'll put his shit on the glass.
Yeah.
I got 100 pounds with Jameer Nelson.
So I don't quite remember seeing if Moutier was on that tape too, but he had a real good game against them.
I was just saying that because I was gonna say Moutier ain't no good either.
I don't know. I can't recall if he was in the tape or not. But I don't know, man. I think if this is gonna be a development thing, and then if Fred can show some semblance of being an NBA coach.
Hey, before Rondo got hurt, he was out coaching Brad Stevens. He was out coaching him.
No doubt.
It was not just a Rondo is, playing really, really well. He was out coaching Brad Stevens. All of the moves he made were the correct moves that needed to be made. So I give him the credit. I give him all of the credit. Like we get on we get on Fred a lot for what he doesn't do, but in that instance, he was definitely out coaching. He's out coaching Brad Stevens. He just caught a raw break. Like it happens. Guys get hurt, but I think they were on their way to beating that team. It was bad luck that they couldn't pull it off because essentially the best player on the team got hurt. Or the best person on the team that series because it wasn't Jimmy. Jimmy wasn't the best player that series.
Sure the fuck wasn't.
Now, who wanted to? Who do you think? So you saying you think Jimmy wanted to go back with Tom?
Yeah, hell yeah.
His whole thing all the time was wanting to go back with Tom.
Absolutely, he's been trying to get back to his coach for the longest.
I can't wait till Tom plays him a million minutes and just wears him out and he becomes Luol Deng. What's going on?
So, God forbid something happened to Jimmy next year, and something happens to his knee or his shoulder or something. Then we God forbid, we put the rumor to rest that Thibodeau ruined star players.
No.
Hell no. Hell no.
That's what he does.
It's true.
Hell yeah.
It's true.
Ain't no putting the room in the bed. He does it. He does it by playing his players too much. It hasn't happened in Minnesota. We can't say
it has.
No,
it has.
No. When what's the call it got hurt? It was off him colliding.
Yeah, that was freak. But the wear and tear of what was going. How many minutes a game was he playing before that happened?
A lot. I think every one of those guys led the league.
Was playing over 38 minutes.
I think every single
they were
star player they led the league in minutes.
Like, it's no coincidence that when he starts coaching guys, people get hurt. Like,
you can't put that to bed because that's what he does. He plays guys too much. You can't wear on these players as much as people. That's what pissed me off during the season when people was mad at LeBron or whoever for sitting out some of these games or whatever. It's like, dog, we've seen it.
Yeah, we understand why LeBron was sitting out those games because he was playing 42 minutes a game, which was stupid, by the way.
We have the documentation. We have the medicine that tells us the research that tells us that these players can't play that many minutes. It's not good for them to play that many minutes. It's just not. So it's okay for these cats to rest and maybe Tibbs not play them 40 something minutes a game. Like it's just common sense.
It was crazy. We talking about these minutes. It's just crazy that LeBron was playing 42 minutes a game. Of all the players that should probably not be playing that many minutes,
It's
I don't get it.
probably him.
It's probably him. He's
All
played
the
enough
basketball,
goddamn
he's
minutes.
all the basketball that dude has played. He hasn't missed no years or no months or no time. He's just constantly playing basketball.
And you can't just say, I understand giving them those days off, but I don't think that's enough. It has to be a season long thing where, he's just not playing a lot of minutes like that.
Does and that's okay. I mean, people want to argue about it, it being bad for the game and all of this nonsense. Being
What
bad
about
for
the
who?
players' bodies?
Because they they want to treat these cats like slaves. I'm sorry if people don't want to hear that, but
They definitely want to treat them like cattle.
you want to treat these guys like cattle, because they're getting paid so much. That ain't got shit to do with nothing when my knees go out. If I bust up my knee, how much I'm getting paid ain't gonna matter.
I think it's
I can get hurt just like everybody else.
Decision whether or not they want to play as many games as they want to. What I don't think should happen is I don't think we should lessen the season. I don't think that.
No,
I just think that the coaches should find better ways of not playing their players so much. I think that.
And they were doing that, but the entire basketball world was up in arms over it. And then Joe Blow the fan is complaining, talking about if I bought a ticket in Memphis and then LeBron is not playing, it's like, well, too bad, too sad, motherfucker. Like
I understand that. I understand that too.
I understand that. I get it, but
that's why you want the coaches to be better about playing the guys as many minutes as they do per game. Because the one-off games where you don't play a dude isn't really going to make that big of a difference. But if you're playing them 44 minutes a game, if you take that down to 38, 37, 36 minutes a game, that's where the you see the difference, because that's literally games off per season. When you're taking these guys' minutes down, as much as you can, you let a dude take a game off in the end of the season. It's like, is that really going to make a big difference? Probably not. Find a way to keep their minutes down throughout the entire season, and then you won't see as much wear and tear.
This whole rest thing really started in, I want to say 2011. Remember when Pops rested Tim Duncan?
That's his thing.
Exactly. Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Ginobili when they were in Miami. And David Stern was pissed. And I was like, these dudes are playing 82-game season, and they always on the road. They need the rest. And these dudes ain't young.
See, I don't think that they had the issue with
scheduling.
Pop was doing some other stuff, though. Pop was doing other stuff. He was not just resting his guys during random games.
He was doing it on
national
big
television games. It was like they're just not going to come here, and he's doing that on purpose. That was the issue.
He was sending their he was sending their ass on vacation, basically. Like they be posting pictures of them like kicking it.
Yeah, just chilling.
Okay.
National television game, they did that. They were playing the Heat. And
they were out somewhere, weren't they?
Chris Bosh. You know what? No, what's the name? Did it? Miami did it. They ended up arresting some guys, and Chris Bosh hit like a game-winning shot or something, and everybody's going crazy. But then, what's the name? Did it too. They arrested Tony Parker, Ginobili, and Tim Duncan, and they did it.
They went somewhere. They was on like vacation somewhere,
just chilling out. And I don't think you can do that. Like, that is a problem, because you're not just affecting your team or the team that you're playing against. You're affecting the entire NBA. He could have found, like, they were on like a 6-game and 7 nights, or 5 and 6, something like that. You could have took off one of those random games during that stretch.
Yeah. Or how about let's not schedule the big games at the end of a long road trip?
They always do that, though. That's their thing. They have, because I'm almost certain that the Miami Heat played them again next or later on in the season, and they were at the tail end of a 4 games and 5 nights, or 5 games, 6 nights. This is what they do.
And then the basketball, even if they do play, the basketball isn't that good because these dudes are tired.
Yeah.
Hey, back to your boy Laurie. Just watching this tape, man, and
he got some moves.
Not even that, but like just. Like he'll get dirty. He'll get in the post.
What is he, like 225? 230?
240. I think they said 230, 240.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean he'll get in the post. He'll post. I know this is college, but He'll drive to the cup.
I seen a little crossover. He hit somebody with a little crossover and a pull up.
Yeah, I don't know too much about his dribbling. I haven't seen anything
You ain't seen a
impressive.
little dribbling move? Yeah,
No.
he had a little crossover on another
Yeah.
7-footer. He crossed him up. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't want this dude crossing over nobody. I haven't seen.
I want him to be able to put the ball on the floor and
He,
drive to the basket.
that he can do.
That's what he
can do
did.
that.
He came off the screen, he crossed the dude over, went to the basket, and got a little layup, and then he did it again. He crossed him over and pulled up for a little jump shot. I don't want Doug McDermott. I don't want 7-foot Doug McDermott.
He'll drive to the cup though.
When Doug would drive to the basket, it was like these off balance floaters and like teardrops and stuff like that. I don't want my 7-footer doing that. I want him to
there's no reason at 7 feet for him to be doing that.
I want him to be able to dribble the ball. And for a dude that looks as athletic as he looks, I want him to be able to dribble.
That's a good stroke. They just showed a play where the drive to the basket was beautiful. He missed the layup, but he got the rebound and had a putback. I mean, it was a beautiful move.
He looks like he's gonna be good.
You just worry about it. I get it.
Because it's a long string of draft picks now that make me worried about what they're doing. And it's not even about Laurie so much as it is about the Bulls' talent evaluation.
Who they pick.
And who they pick. I mean, I know we like Bobby. Bobby looks okay, but Bobby is he's okay. Bobby is just okay. We don't know what Valentine is, but the one thing we do know is that he's unathletic,
aka a Bulls player, apparently.
Not very fast, and it feels like Laurie is just another one of these Bulls picks. Even though he can really shoot, he feels like a Bulls pick. Feels like a Bulls pick. Maybe he was the best player available at that time. I don't know.
Because they passed on Dennis Smith, man.
Yeah, they passed on Monk too.
And but they had just gotten 2 guards, so I wasn't really expecting them to
yeah, I know. But as far as him being the best player available, he wasn't that. Not if Dennis Smith was still on the board, he wasn't the best player available. It's just that the Bulls got too many goddamn guards in their team. But Dennis Smith was probably one of the best available.
I think if what's the name was going to end up picking this Laurie dude if he was available at the Pistons. What did they have, like 14 or 15 or something like that? I think they were trying to pick him up too. Try to get somebody. The Pistons. I think they were.
The Pistons want the same kind of player too.
Yeah, they wanted him.
Who they picked up with their first pick? Buddy from what they get? It was a lanky white boy.
Did they get the dude from Duke?
I think they got that's who it is.
Yeah, that Tatum dude.
The 35-year looking dude. Dude, like about 50 years old. Well, I can't remember. I'm not even really paying attention to the draft right now because all I was looking at is what the Bulls were planning on doing. Everything really happened the way you kind of expected it to go. You expected folk to go first, then you expected the Lakers. The Lakers tried to throw that smoke screen up the entire doggone month of June. Hell, we really don't know if we're going to pick Lonzo Ball.
Man, they got rid of their point guard. That was all I needed to know. Once they traded.
Let's talk
Russell.
about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that trade, Chris. What did you think about that trade? Did you think that was a good trade?
I don't necessarily. I mean, I think Brook Lopez. I think he's a good player.
We was talking about Brook Lopez on the thread.
On the thread, he's a good offensive big man in the post. He can be a menace if he has the right people around him. But he's a defensive liability, and as a big man, as a 5, you can't really be that in the NBA. It doesn't matter if you can shoot or not. That 5 rebound thing that you brought up, that's kind of scary.
He averages 7 rebounds for his career. He's never gotten 10. And I don't know. So it was somebody who said they take him scoring 20 points per game over 10 to 15 rebounds. And I'm just like, are you insane from your center?
I think he's 2012 Kevin Love.
from your 7'3", 280-pound center, you're okay with 7 rebounds? I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that.
Not at all.
I don't. I don't know. I actually like D'Angelo Russell. Uh, if you look at some of the numbers that he put up after the All Star break, I think he's averaging close to 19 points per game on
Mm.
fairly decent shooting percentages. Um, he joined. I think he almost missed being the second player with over 2,000 points and like 1,000 rebounds and assists and all these other numbers. Like LeBron was the only other player with these numbers, and he missed it by I want to say like 13 rebounds or 13 assists or something like that. So it's
I,
not like he's a bad basketball player. He's really
he,
good.
that's the thing, though. He's not a bad basketball player, but I think that with Magic, even though he wasn't in the front office at that time, that whole texting thing with Nick Young, when he lost the locker room with that, and I don't think he ever really recovered from that, and that probably played a part into it, and maybe they just thought he was too immature to lead the team.
Maybe. But he's still I mean, he's what is he, 19, 20 years old? He's 20, 22? Something. He's between 20 and 22 years old. He's still a young dude.
Yeah,
Is his baggage from what happened with Nick Young, who's not even a Laker anymore, the same baggage is going to come with LeVar Ball? Like I think they might be hand in hand. They might be the same. I guess it boils down to whether or not you think Lonzo is going to be a better basketball player than D'Angelo, and I don't know. I can't project that.
It's really hard to tell with that.
Yeah, I can't project that right now. We have to see how Lonzo plays in the NBA. I do know that when Lonzo went up against top tier guards, he got his ass lit up.
Every time.
He got lit the hell up. But
Every time.
so we're gonna see what happens because his father then got him in some hot water in the NBA. Guys are gonna be gunning for him
oh yeah.
every night. He's basically gonna be the Golden State Warriors.
Hmm.
Where every time he
Ben
goes up
Simmons
against
and
somebody,
Yeah, I saw
Ben
that.
Simmons and that dude, yeah.
They're already plotting on him.
yeah, they already plotting on him, and he
They're
hasn't
already
played a
plotting on
game
him.
in the NBA. So I mean,
I mean, it could all be put to bed if he goes out and just
and balls,
and balls basically.
no pun intended. But if
Yeah.
he goes out there and puts in work, then nothing really matters. They made the right move. But they're also
Exactly. Joe Stop.
trying to go out there and get Paul George, and you have all of these different rumors about LeBron going there next season, which I don't think is too far fetched at this point anymore. I don't think it's far fetched that LeBron is going to leave Cleveland anymore because if this is starting to feel like it did when he
Yeah.
went to Miami the first time, and it's starting to feel like it did when he went to Cleveland, went back to Cleveland. It's a lot of smoke around what's going on with him. This is exactly how it happened.
I just for that to that point, I don't get it. You've already been here, Gilbert. You've already been here. You like why fuck it up again? Why?
Because he's that.
That's
That's
who
what
The
he
he
fuck up.
is.
that's what he is.
Like
That is
like well,
exactly what he is.
I would you would think that you know what, man, I learned my lesson, man. Like this is like your girl taking you back after you royally fucked up. She took you back and said, look here, you fuck up again, and I ain't coming back. Like this, it's a wrap.
Yeah, I mean,
And
you at this
you
point,
like,
if
all
he
right.
leaves again, you're not even going to want him back because by the time you can get him, he's going to be damn near 40. You might want LeBron Jr., but you're not going to want LeBron anymore. He made him.
Tell you what,
He's
your boy
making
Laurie has
mistakes.
way better footwork than Doug could ever dream of having as a defender.
Yeah, he's athletic.
As a defender, I can. I mean, he just got they showing some of his faults right here. Okay, that's
What are
good.
you looking
He
at?
can move.
Draft Express.
B-ball breakdown. All right, I looked at Draft Express was the first people I looked at. B-ball breakdown right now. So he can.
What up, Coach?
He can. Yeah. What up? If he's listening, that would be fucking fantastic. Um, he can like move his feet and like if a guy is about to drive, he can actually do something Doug could never dream of, and then shuffle his fucking feet and stay in front of the man, and then contend the shot if he comes up for a shot or contend the layup.
So he'll probably be able to run. If you want to go big, you got him at your power forward, and you got Lopez at your at the center, and if you want to go small, you got him at your center, and then you throw another, like a small forward type dude out there at the power forward and try to stretch the floor out a little bit more, open it up.
Definitely can do that.
Ironically enough, he's the type of player that you would want to put around Jimmy Butler. He's the exact type of player you want around Jimmy Butler. Like like you would hope that he would be, you know, what you would expect Nico to have been.
Yeah.
And actually now I don't think there's a chance in the world the Bulls resign.
Really?
Yeah, there's no need for it.
There's no need for him now because all he'd be doing is taking minutes away from this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't sign him.
So we going full tank mode then.
Going full tank mode, and then you just get a bunch of young dudes.
I'm with it, man. Let's
get
get
out.
let's get this top. Let's get this top 3 pick. Let's go.
I'm
go.
Gonna look. I get NBA TV. I'm gonna get the league pass just to watch the Bulls and nobody else.
When you say it like that, that makes me excited. See, I couldn't watch a Bulls game last year.
I didn't like the team. We talked about this when we talked about it. I was like, this was like the most I didn't like this team. And it's, you know what? It didn't start with this team. This was just the culmination of it. I didn't like the team 2 years ago. This was just the culmination of what had happened.
Yeah.
Like this was the worst.
It got even worse.
So I was ready.
They had games where Jimmy would hit a buzzer beater or whatever. And like I'm over 30 years old, man. I've been watching the Bulls my whole life. I cannot remember a game winner where even on a fucking cold day in February, I'm not, yelling, oh, or whatever. Like Jimmy hit one, and I swear to God, I sat here and just stared at the TV. And I was just like, well, all right. Oh, they won.
Cool.
The Bulls won. My wife was just like, that's it. And I was like,
yeah,
that's all I got. That's all I got.
Like, that's all I can give them.
That's all I have. They can't get anything else out of me because I dislike this team.
I did not like the team. I didn't like the moves that they made. All of that. It looked like Snotty is going at it in this thread with somebody.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now, and I'm like, man, I heard bruh, and somebody called him, you must be a cornerback because you backpedaling. It's okay.
Yeah, that's because he's Gus is talking about he's still talking about the Al Horford trade. And all things being considered, during the regular season, I thought the Al Horford pickup was bad. Because at the beginning of the season, he was hurt, wasn't really playing very well, and then towards the end of the season, Al Horford was outstanding. And then in the playoffs, he was amazing. So everything that you wanted from Al Horford, he did what you wanted to do. Al Horford was amazing in the playoffs, dude. He was absolutely outstanding.
He was just okay against the Bulls, though.
Against the Bulls, yeah. But before the second round and the third round, he was outstanding.
Yeah, I guess I didn't watch much Boston playoff games.
I mean, nobody who the hell wants to watch Boston? But I mean, I was watching the games because it was basketball. But he was outstanding.
Because I recall the Bulls series. He might have had one dope game where he was, well, not even dope. He was all right. The rest of it, he was kind of trash.
Yeah, the rest of the playoffs, he was amazing. Rebounding the ball, scoring, defense, rim protection. It was like everything that you wanted him to do.
Is Jordan Bell?
That's who the Bulls drafted?
No. I don't know. They just got Golden State acquired Jordan Bell from the Bulls for cash.
I didn't know the Bulls had
who the fuck is Jordan Bell?
I don't know.
I don't know the Bulls had any cash.
Oh, did they draft him? Oh, hold on.
Oh,
is that who the
Oregon
Bulls drafted?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. The $3.5 million. The Bulls are just trading guys for money. We need as much money as we can get.
I thought they good now though. They just got rid of Jimmy's money.
Yeah, I think
they got a bunch of money left.
They got a couple million. They got some millions that opened up because of that. What is Jordan Bell? I'm assuming if the Golden State Warriors want him, he must be a dude that can shoot threes.
Oh shit! So what have the Bulls done?
They gave him another dude that can step out and hit a whole bunch of damn threes, like McCall. Just out of nowhere, dude is a rookie playing in the finals and playing well. Man, we're gonna see what happens with this team, man. But I am excited about this whole tankathon. I'm ready for them to tank it out. Hey, man, you remember I was talking about writing that, the remix that You Can Hate Me Now, and tank right now, just writing that out. Seeing if I can get Nas to go ahead and give me go ahead and give me the okay to put that out, man. I got the lyrics, man. I just can't say nothing now because they might shut us down. Nas, he hit Remy Ma, he gonna come for me too. Don't want me using his lyrics and don't want me using his beat. But I'm excited.
Let's see what Sylvie thinks of this trade.
I'm sure it was a lot of Bulls fans didn't seem to really like it because I don't think they.
I'm okay with it. I don't know. I get the you say, look, I'm concerned about his knee, and we've already been down that road, and yada yada yada. I completely understand that. The rest of it, I'm really okay with it.
Do people in hell realize that they're in hell?
That's because people don't realize. They care about the short term. They don't care about the long term. They see their best player being traded away.
But what's the short term, Chris?
Exactly.
What's the short term? Like
42 and 42.
Like who were you getting? Like who were you getting? You got a superstar. You got a top 15 guy. You put guys around him. Who are the Bulls putting around them? They tried to put
people talking about
guys around them.
Dwayne Wade and Jimmy Butler talking to Kyle Lowry like he was going to come here for $2 million a season. Like, the Bulls don't have any money.
That dude wants to get away from a mediocre team to come to another one.
They don't have any prospects of being a good basketball, like a top 5 Eastern Conference team. They don't even have the prospects of that. Even if they had, the Bulls get Kyle Lowry. You throw out Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, and Dwayne Wade. What does that get you? What?
Oh my God, a 6 seed.
We get the 6 seed. Now what? You're even further in basketball hell. Because now the pick that 16th pick that you were hoping that you would get is probably going to be close to 20.
20.
Now what are you doing? It's not a good thing. Sometimes you have to realize, and I know it's hard to realize when you're in hell, you have to realize that you're burning. Like, it's not just hot. I know you dabbing your damn brow like, man, it's hot up in here. Yeah, you're in hell. Yeah, that's what happens when you're in hell. It gets hot. The Bulls were in basketball purgatory. They were in basketball hell. They were a mediocre team with absolutely no means of getting better.
Did y'all see Jim's personal trainer?
That shit that he sent to the Cavs or what?
No. His tweet.
What did he say?
0 and 82. Worst culture in the league. I met drug dealers with better morals than their GM. He is a liar and everyone knows. Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. So I'm talking scorched earth, motherfucker.
Look, usually it's the Chicago I will massacre you. Usually it's the Bulls who come out and what is his name? Travail Gaines?
Yeah, that's him. Oh.
I don't even know how to spell it.
TRAVELLE.
There it is. It was TRA. Okay. Oh man, he went in.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to this page now.
Yeah, I'm on this page right now.
I'm sure they ain't the only one.
I'm gonna read. Here's the first response. Couldn't agree with you more. Biggest mistake in franchise history. Love Jimmy. Thibs fleeced the Bulls and made them look dumb again. But they weren't going. Somebody responded, but they weren't going anywhere with Jimmy and no one else. But that trade was terrible. We got nothing. They gave up too much for a top 15. Okay, but I understand that we gave up too much. We gave up Jimmy in the pick. How much? I would have loved to have kept that 16th pick. Loved it. But if you want to start over,
That's what I meant to say earlier. Number 7.
Number 7 in the draft.
That's what I was gonna say earlier when you said
you got the
giving
pick from last year.
So that's what I was gonna say when you said about giving up that 16th pick. Like I would have loved to have kept it, but like that 16th pick don't kill this trade to me. It really don't. Like I would have. It's always better to have it to bring in potential assets than give them away. But for this trade,
it's just because the Bulls have historically.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Like,
because it's not like it's people that want to say they fleeced they fleeced them. No, they didn't. You gave up one player for 3.
It's just the the history of this type of thing happening with the Chicago Bulls. You traded away so many draft picks to get Doug McDermott, and then you trade
But
Doug
ain't that?
McDermott.
But ain't don't trades like this when it happens with superstars like this? Like, don't it always seem one sided?
It always does.
Unless you're getting like 5 players back, it always seems it's never where it's like equal value. It's never that way. That's why you have to
Like
add
you, the
three
Bulls,
players
the
to
Bulls
make
were never,
it go down.
the Bulls were never going to get equal value
You can't.
for Jimmy
It's
Butler.
impossible. It's
What you
impossible
do
unless
is
you're
you
getting
hope.
another superstar.
Yeah, but if you're getting another superstar, you don't want to trade him. Like that's the point.
Right.
You're not going to get a superstar for him. You're trying to get like if you actively decided we're going to trade Jimmy Butler and start over. You're starting over. So this is the baseline now. The baseline is whatever happens at this point and where the Bulls go. Uh, I hope they're really really bad next year, so that we can get another draft pick, and then and then we can see where we go from there. You have done and you letting him grow, and hopefully Levine comes back and he's a good basketball player again. Then you have a shooting guard, a point guard. You have yourself a stretch four. Um, then you got another stretch four that can come off the bench. Like the Bulls have multiple guys that can come in and do, and play different roles. I think you're going to see a lot of these guys that didn't really play last year. You're going to see them playing. Uh, Bobby is going to play. Denzel is going to play. So you're going to see these guys playing a lot more, and it's going to be exciting to see what they actually have or what they don't.
Let's run that offense. Let's do it.
And then you can make your moves from there. You decide whether or not you want to continue down this line with the team that you've assembled and the players that you have. You see if you have any talent, and if you don't, then you keep on trying to build up that talent. But you weren't going to go anywhere with Jimmy Butler as your best player.
You just weren't, man. You just weren't. You just weren't.
To touch on what Rob said a couple minutes ago, these trades always for star players, they always look one sided. But imagine if this trade didn't happen. We would have heard it came back and what held the trade up? The Bulls didn't want to give up the 16th pick. What would you have said?
That's a real good point, Chris. That's a real good point, Chris.
Everybody would have been like, "What? You didn't want to get Chris Dunn in the 7th pick and Levine for the 16th pick and Jimmy?" And it'd have been like, everybody shitting on the Bulls front office because that's the thing.
Real good point. That's
the thing that we do. We crap
because
all over.
It'd have been like we would have been like, well, who got drafted with the 16th pick? It'd be some role guy that's not going to play. It's like, see, I mean, you can't let stuff like that hold up these deals. So that was my whole thought process when I first initially saw the trade online and people talking about, man, but the 16th pick too. I'm just like, it's the 16th pick. What are we talking about? It's the 16th pick.
I just wish they could have figured out a way to keep it.
Keep it. Yeah. But I'm not upset that they gave it up though.
Because
I would have rather kept it.
What pick did Donovan? He went 13th because I was like, man, if Donovan Mitchell would have fell to the 16th pick, that would have been something, man. Like, okay, you could have got Donovan Mitchell and this. If you could have somehow figured out a way to do that, like it's a lot of talent. But at the end of the day, it still is this. It's just a 16th pick. It's not a big deal. I just wish they could have kept it. But you got a 7th pick. You have 2 lottery picks. You basically traded Jimmy for 2 lottery picks.
What's Levine? Levine wasn't a lot. Well, I mean, I guess
but
he's already been in the league or whatever.
Yeah. I'm just talking about for the last. You have 2 of the top 10 or what is it? 2 of the top 12 guys or 13 guys from the last draft. You have 2 of them. Okay, there you go. Let's
working. Tank it up, baby. Let's tank it up. Let's tank it up. Let's tank it up. Trust the process, baby.
Really good. This Laurie comes in and he's Kristaps.
Let's do it.
And Dunn comes in and he takes the same jump in his second year that Chauncey Billups took. You never know with these guys. You don't know what's going to happen. But what you do, but that's the greatest thing about what's happening now is the unknown. You don't know what could happen. With Jimmy still here, you knew what was going to happen. You were going to be the 8th seed. We were going to lose in the first round. 2 years from now, we'd be talking about how Jimmy Butler left the Bulls because he couldn't win. And then you're starting over anyway. You weren't winning with him. He cannot, as good as Jimmy Butler is as a basketball player, he cannot be your best basketball player. Me and Rob have been saying that for
until I've been blue in the face.
like we've been saying it for like a couple years now, man. Even when it was clear that he was the best basketball player when Derek was still here, me and Rob have been saying it. Derrick Rose has to be the best player on this team, or the Bulls are not going to be very good.
When everybody kept trying to push it for Jimmy to be the guy, Jimmy's got to be your best player. No, the fuck he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He was your best player last year, and y'all got no fucking well.
He's your best player this year.
AC.
So yeah, he cannot.
He doesn't have no. He does need to be your best player.
He can be your second best player though.
A superstar needs to be your best player, and he's not.
He's not a superstar.
He's a top 15 player by default.
Your boy Scottie Pippen, he says the same thing. He's like Jimmy is a top 10 player in the league. Like the hell are people looking at? Like if you look around, no, he's not top 10, but he's probably top 15
by default. By default.
He's good. He's really, really good.
I mean, I'm not trying to diminish Jimmy, but I mean, come on, though.
He's really good, though.
He's a really good second guy. Those guys aren't your top 15 players.
Unfortunately,
a really good.
Well, no, Scotty was a really good second dude, and he was a top 15 player for years. Jimmy ain't Scotty. I know. I'm just throwing it out.
I know what you're saying, but I see what you're saying, but
What about James Worthy? He's a second guy.
That's a Hall of Famer.
I'm just throwing out second guy over time.
We got to do better. We got to do better. I can't. Jimmy's a guy to me. Jimmy ain't no future Hall of Famer. He ain't shown me no Hall of Famer.
Jimmy is not a future Hall of Famer. At least not yet. If his career ended now, he's not a Hall of Fame basketball player. So yeah.
His game doesn't say
translate to Hall of Fame.
Not even that. I'm just talking about as far as him being like, this top guy. If I think top 15 guy, I think a guy that's I could win a championship with this dude. Let me get this dude and I'll start from there.
You can't win a championship with Jimmy G buckets
like that.
Now that you're his number one option.
Not to start there.
Jimmy G buckets.
Now you tell me I'm picking up.
And the G stands for get the hell out of Chicago. This has been According to Sources. You guys know where to find this. It's according to sources at gmail.com. According to Sources on Facebook. A2 Sources on Twitter. According to Sources at According to Sources. If you have emails and you want to send them there. Chris, tell the people you're at so they can get at you. You one of them young kids, man. You be changing your at like every week, bro. What is it now?
2 underscores, capital C, Christian, no I at the end.
Okay. I couldn't even follow that, Joe. I'm getting old. Rob, give the people your ad if you want to.
At Rob Tizzle with 2 Z's, 88.
There you go. This has been an ETMF podcast production. I just want to say, shout out to the one person in the UK that continuously downloads every podcast. You are awesome. We have a long list of people that we have a really good thread going on Facebook, man. If you guys can follow these dudes, if you don't follow them, JustBlades_513. Go follow Snotty Dripping. You probably already do. At Baylor the Great. At Chet_O'Hara. At Ball Sports. At Blue Collar Sports. No O on the sports. Mr. High Yellow, Mr._High Yellow. It's a whole bunch of dope people, good people talking about sports. If you want to get in on a thread, it's a circle. We're doing really good things. Everybody's helping each other with the iTunes ratings and subscribing, and we going on everybody's podcast. We're trying to help lift each other up. Go follow them brothers.
It's all love.
It's all love. Go follow all of them. And if it's anybody that's in this thread that I forgot, it's my head, not my heart. We love all of you guys. You guys have been awesome. This has been the According to Sources. I'm Dre. That's Rob. Chris. We out. Peace.
Peace out, Jimmy.
Jason Whitlock, you suck.